Possibly when these things happened for the first time, they were very unique in nature. Possibly when the first time somebody went to Europe, it was very unique in nature. Possibly when sometime you shot with them. You know, when you do things for the first time, they're unique in nature. But, so people make these rules which scare you. So I think the moment you discard those rules and say, no, I'm going to make a film which I like.
That's always been you, isn't it? I mean, people expected you to make a third sequel, third in the series of Munabai, but you have gone on record to say that you couldn't really work the script, so you possibly shelved it. So it basically again comes down to your core belief that the story is finally what matters.
Yeah, I guess we are not in the rush to make 20 films in a lifetime or 50 films in a lifetime. As long as we can make a film which we enjoy, because that process has to be enjoyable. And fortunately, I work with a team where everybody thinks alike. There's Abhijat, Shantanu here, Swanand here. Look at the kind of work they do. Nobody's in a race of doing 20 films.
Yeah, I'm going to get you on stage in a couple of minutes. Just want to ask, therefore, continue with this about the team. How much important is it to have a team with whom you feel so confident? That's the one part of the question. And doesn't working with the same team also sometimes take away the edginess from it?
The big advantage of working with the same team is that you all know each other. Filmmaking is a process where, okay, say there's a story and I want to make the story. So you have to get everybody on the same page so that they see the film in the same way. When you give a script to a crew, all those 50 people can actually see the same script in a different way. So it takes a huge amount of effort to sit with the team and say, okay, this is the film I'm trying to make. This is what I think. So let's try this. But when you work with the same team, you become friends, you understand each other, it becomes like a family, and they understand your mind much faster than anybody else would. So it's so much easier to work with the team you've already worked with.
And then if you want to bring that edginess in, you have to bend their arm and twist their leg, or you have to say they will understand the different direction you want to take the film.
No, I have a team which bends my arm most of the time. So they don't let you end it. We were just sitting and talking, and Avijat is still saying, do you think we can still change that one voiceover? We can still add one scene, and
Yes, now.
My senses are like, tomorrow.
We're knocking on the door. Yeah. Okay. 2 films with Sanjay Dutt. 2 films with
3 with him. Sanjay is also in this film.
He's also in this film?
Yeah.
Okay. But as the central protagonist, without giving the story away, we saw the central protagonist always being Sanjay Dutt in the 2 Munabai films. Amir Khan, central to 3 Idiots. Apparently, obviously, also central to this film. Yeah. And now you brought Sanjay Dutt also into the equation. So, does it mean that your future projects will... Does the story come about because you know you're going to be working with these actors?
No, it works the other way around.
It works the other way around.
Actually, script is your Bible. The script drives everything. From the script emerges everything. And I think that's the way it should happen. You cannot say, okay, this is an actor, so let me write a story around him.
Yeah.
So you have a script and then you decide who's the actor. And it's a coincidence where the scripts we had, like first 2 films were obviously Munabai, so it's obviously Sanjay that had to be there. And these 2 films were such that Amir was just the right person.
Yeah. Why does Sanjay have to be there?
Okay, let me tell you an anecdote. When Munabai I went through this whole casting thing it took me a year and a half to really cast. And I had 81 scenes in that film. I've sat with 81 scenes written on a piece of paper, and then I made columns. And on that columns, I wrote the name of some. I can't name them, 7, 8 actors. And I would close my eyes for every scene. Okay, this is scene 1. I would run that scene with one actor in my head, same scene with another actor in my head, and I would put a tick mark saying, okay, who would do this scene the best? I did that like sitting over 2 days with every scene. And when I totaled it, and Sanjay, honestly speaking, Sanjay, I was the man who was not really on my radar. But when I really totaled it, seeing every scene with that man, Sanjay Dutt was like the tops. And it had to be nobody but Sanju. Because Sanju, if you look at him, he's got a tough exterior. So he looks like a goon, he looks like a bhai, which he is in the film. And he's got a soft interior. His drooping eyes, that soft smile, makes him, so we used to call him the divine fool. You know, he truly represents that divine fool.
Lovely. Okay, and now to bring it back to Belgium and to Bruges. Do you think that with what you have done, and immediately after this question I'll get our friend, your co-writer, you're the gentleman, right? So, does this look as if the first part of the film, which I understand, without giving again the story away, is in Bruges and then flashbacks towards the end. Does this come across as something which will finally be a film where India sees the beauty of Bruges and says, that is an interesting place. We've seen Italy, we've seen Paris, we've seen New York, a certain filmmaker who always makes his films in New York. It says, Bruges, wow.
You know, when we're shooting Three Idiots, I take time to really hunt for my locations. I really take time. Okay, the basic locations stay the same if you're shooting in Bombay, Delhi. But when you go really out, I really spend time hunting for those locations. So when we wanted that one last place where Amir Khan would have gone and settled, it took me really long. We went from Sikkim to Leh to every place. And then we found that beautiful lake where Amir would go. And that film released, and I've been told that...
That's an extraordinary.
I've been told that now you go there, tourism has gone up to an unbelievable stage, and they're saying Kashmir needs tourism, Leh, Ladakh don't need it. There are restaurants called Rancho restaurants, Three Idiots restaurants. There are tours around it, and so I really can't say that, you know, we are going to do that. But all I can say is I hope, because we've taken a huge amount of effort to find Bruges, and to me it's a very pretty place with lovely people, and I would like to go there all the time. My whole team wants to go there. They want to take a holiday after the film. So I assume with the amount of people who is going to see this film, we can do the same for Bruges. But I don't think really we need to do that for Bruges. Bruges is a place when all this thing will happen automatically.
It also brings to mind, no? I mean, there's also a limit to how much overkill of tourism one wants, right, Carl? Yes, yes. But in any case, now that he's put this in the film, you better get ready. Better warn your government to get ready, up and running. Okay, can I invite our friend Abhijit to come onto the stage? Ladies and gentlemen, would you please give a round of applause to here, there, wherever you like. Welcome. Thank you. Just come sit here. They need light. Yeah. Lovely. So both of you in Bruges.
But I guess he's a man who is passionate about what he does. He lives his dreams. And when you're passionate about things, you're happy with what you're doing. And I think that happiness keeps you young, keeps you driven. So you look at the kind of work he's been doing, whether it's the kind of films he chooses, whether it's Satyamev Jayate, or they're all driven by desire, driven by dreams, driven by passion. So I guess that keeps him young.
Rajuji, question I'd like to ask you is, of course, since this is a press conference and a lot of people from the industry are going to watch this in the news, do you have a message for the producers and directors in Bollywood on if they are choosing to shoot in Bruges, whether, you know, I mean, how convenient it was for you, or how would you like to promote it to Bollywood right now, as in, you know, to the people who are looking forward to shooting it over there, shooting their forthcoming projects in Bruges?
As I just said, when you're shooting abroad, the immediate things that bother you, or not bother, but what bothers an executive producer, Sanjeev is here, he'll be an IEP, he'll be the right man to answer. But the immediate things that, the logistics issues are, okay, How will I be able to take my people there? How will I take my equipment there? Will there be a crew to assist? Because you want to go with a minimum team, so will there be a crew who's film savvy? Will all the equipment be available? Will there be cameras there? Will there be stock available? So these are the questions that bother you, and Belgium is so well equipped with studios, equipment, great talent, and great human beings. I have such wonderful experience with those people. There was not a single, otherwise there would be some tips with teams. Why are you spending so much? Where are your accounts? These are kind of things Sanjeev would face. But these were such wonderful people. There was no hassle. And the consulate here made it so easy for us to go there. We become friends and we get lovely beers. So I think for every producer, director, beers should be the basic motivation to go there.
Hi, I'm Vivek. First and foremost, very hearty congratulations to your entire team. You all have been churning out some great stuff. I must confess, I hardly watch films. There are selected maybe 5 films I may watch in a year. And amongst those are the kind of films that you all churn out as a team. So my heartiest compliments to your entire team. I think you all respect human intellect in the first place.
Thank you.
Most films, I'm sorry, I have a slightly different opinion. I feel it's sometimes an insult to human intellect. I told that in an off-the-cuff conversation to your co-writer also. But my pointed question is to Shantanu. I'm a big music buff. And the first thing that draws me to the theatre are the songs of the film. I must compliment you on this wonderful composition. Whatever little I've heard of it, I've completely loved it. Along with the lyrics and everything else, Anand. So, I have a question to Shantanu. I've been often and watching some of your interviews at times now also. Total Recall. So I've loved your observations on music also.